So guys, I just want to quickly share with you an encounter that Jesus has with two sisters in Luke chapter 10 verses 38 to 42, and I recommend you read it afterwards. But essentially what's happening is Martha, one of the sisters, has welcomed Jesus into her home, and like any good host would do, she's running around trying to make sure everyone is fed and happy. While her sister Mary, on the other hand, is just sitting at Jesus' feet and listening to him. Understandably, Martha isn't too impressed with her sister's apparent laziness, but Jesus views the situation entirely differently. Martha is distracted, but Mary is devoted. And this isn't by any means an attack on Martha's character, but rather an invitation to consider what we can miss when we allow ourselves to be distracted with the everyday busyness of life and even in our serving of Jesus. I want us to focus on verses 41 to 42. But the Lord answered her, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her. So to see what Martha has missed in her distraction, we need to look at what Mary has gained in her devotion. Mary knows what she needs. She needs Jesus. She needs to hear his words. So what does she do? She takes up the place of a disciple and sits at the feet of the one that she follows. And why does she need Jesus? Well, because he is the good portion. He is all that Mary needs to satisfy her every longing and give her strength for every day. And her hope, he will never be taken away from her. You know, Martha is worried about serving Jesus, which is really important. But Jesus is inviting Martha to be served by him, just as he is serving her sister by allowing her to sit at his feet and simply enjoy being in his presence. But why is this encounter of any relevance for us today? Well, because the same Jesus that loved and served Mary is the same Jesus who invites us to sit at his feet today. He invites us to set aside the worries and the busyness of life and just enjoy him. What he says to Martha is what he says to us today. We need him. We need to hear his words. And without him serving and pouring into us, we won't be able to serve or pour into others. Jesus is our good portion. He is enough to satisfy us. And when everything else fails, hopes, dreams, plans, even when the entire world seems to fall apart, Jesus will never be taken away from us. He is the beginning and the end, the rock on whom we stand and in whom we find refuge. So will you choose him? Will you intentionally sit at his feet? Will you know Mary's peace in the presence of her Saviour? Don't be so distracted that you miss this. One thing is necessary. Choose the good portion. He will not be taken away from you.